Welcome, this is Plant Smart Living with Farmer Fred. I'm really glad you could join us today. I'm excited to be able to show you how we cook and spice up our potato fries. You know, we just love our potatoes here and our rice and our starches, you know. And you think about the Asians, you know, there's almost 2 billion Asians and they're healthy and trim. They live to their 80s and 90s, basically disease-free. And what they eat is starches and vegetables and maybe just a tiny little bit of fish. And so it's just fun being able to show people how to cook your potatoes and so on, and cooking in the kitchen. So anyhow, I'm just going to briefly show you how I cook my potatoes, and then we're going to spice them up and put them in the oven. And so you basically take one potato, you cut it in half, and then cut it in half again, and then cut it in half again. And what you're doing is you're quartering them up and making little wedges. So you know, it always reminds me of when you're out on the beach laying out in the sun like this, and so you get exposed to the heat, and that way your potatoes end up getting nice and crisp because there's a lot of edges exposed and air can circulate around them. And so I'm just going to finish cutting these few up, and then we're going to put them in the bowl. And we also love our different spices. Today we're going to use the Mrs. Dash Chipotle spice. It's southwestern, and so they add a little bit of smoky flavor to them. And but other ways you could also do it is, you know, we have you have cumin. If you want to use cumin, is also good, or garlic. Here you have garlic. You could add spices to that, or smoked paprika is another favorite of ours. The paprika adds kind of a smoky flavor, and then, you know, once the fries come out, you could always sprinkle on just a little bit of your Himalayan pink salt. And so, you know, because we want you to be able to enjoy your starches, and so just to put a little bit of salt on the surface for flavoring is okay. I would say that's McDougall improved. In fact, you know, we love John McDougall. He's been a doctor for over 40 years, and he promotes a plant-based diet. And so and we also use what we're using today is the Southwestern Chipotle. It's a salt-free Mrs. Dash. But you could also use this one here. It's Fiesta Lime, which is another one if you want to add a different flavoring to your potato. And we'll also provide links for more information for that. And so what I'm just going to do is put these potatoes in the bowl here that's been cut up like a potato wedge, and I'm just going to sprinkle some of I have these flavorings here, the spices from Mrs. Dash. I'm going to put them around in the bowl there, and just going to shake these up so it coats them really nice. Maybe add a little bit more. So you can see there that they're nice and coated. And so we also have the oven temperature at 450, because you're going to want to bake them for 450 for half an hour. So I'm simply going to just lay these on the tray, right on the back of the potato wedge. But they come out nice and crispy. It's nice. It makes a nice meal. You could add some corn with this, or peas, and just have yourself a nice healthy meal. You could have steamed broccoli, or just have the potatoes themselves as a meal. Got a few more to go here. But this way, these potatoes will have good air circulation around them. They're not up real close, like a can of sardines. You know, they got some room to breathe, and that way they'll bake a little bit better. And so I'm going to put these in the oven right now. And so they're going to bake for a half an hour at 450, and we'll see you back when they're finished. So we're back, the oven fries are done, and so I'm going to pull them out of the oven here. They've been baking anywhere from like 30 minutes to 40 minutes. You want to keep an eye on them near the end. So let's just pull them out, and we're going to put them over here on the counter here. I set them on 2 oven mitts here. And you can see how nice and crispy they turned out. You know, the idea of cutting them into wedges, they get a nice sunburn, you could say, on the top. So they're nice and crispy. So we're also going to put some ketchup on them. And, you know, everybody has their own favorite flavoring. Thankfully, they're not too hot. I can still get them off the tray. You may want to use some kind of fork or something if you have to. But Howie and I are going to enjoy these. Howie, my cameraman, he loves these home fries. In fact, he says he can't wait till they're done. And so you can see how nice and crispy they look. And using this Chipotle flavor, I think they're going to taste delicious. And we may just put a sprinkle of organic ketchup on here from Trader Joe's. So anyhow, I just would encourage you to try making these. We're looking forward to having them. And so it's been nice having you join us today here. Until next time, this is Plant Smart Living with Farmer Fred.